Yes, people, what's happening? So today's talk's gonna be why I feel ancient Sikhs were more potent than modern Sikhs. It's just my opinions. In all my talks, it's just my opinions. I ain't no expert, you know what I mean? So these are my opinions. Some will agree, some won't, huh? So I've made some pointers down. Number one, I feel that when the Guru was here in the physical form, when they were speaking, they could explain the Red, explain the Bani, and the Sangat will listen to the Guru. We have the Guru now in Shabad form, but people interpret the Shabads different, um, and some take it logically, some say it's metaphor. So we have so many camps. Like some people say heaven and hell is just metaphor, and it reflects pain and pleasure on this earth. Some people say heaven and hell exists. Some say Dharmaraj is just a metaphor, it's mythical characters. And some people say no, there really is a Dharmaraj and stuff, huh? So we've got different takes. When the Guru was here in the physical, he would have just told us there is, there isn't. Do you know what I mean? Now the Bani, it tells you, but people just have different interpretations of different Shabbats and stuff like that. So there's more confusion now. Same with Hukamname, when the Guru gave Hukamname out, do this, do that, do this, explain to the Sangat stuff, then they would tell like the Guru's alive, you know what I mean? So now it's the Shabbat Guru, and it's very subjective now, isn't it? Number two, the Sangat was more genuine at times, so there was more PR. Even after Guru Gobind Singh Ji left for Sachkhand, you know, the bars were full. There used to be congregation. Like rare last time, the Sangat would leave from work and go to Reras, to Kirtan Sahela, do more Naam Simran, do Waheguru Simran in the evening together, do Moon Mantra together. In the Gurdwara, they were packed. Now, if you go to majority of the Gurdwara, they're only packed when a Baba comes or there's some family program or occasion or something going on. If you go on a normal day at Reras time, 2-3 people. Some Gurdwara might get 10 people, but there's so many Gurdwara that should be all packed. Reras together, Jopis Sahib together, Simran together. But people come home, you know. There was people come home late, innit? People are doing 12-hour shifts, jobs them times were more like not as like 12-hour shifts. Monday to Sunday people are working, two parents working. It wasn't like that. It's so hectic now. It's a proper rat race. There was a proper sense of community them times as well, because they all each had each other's back, looked out for each other. Ajkal, you just, it's every man for themselves, every family for themselves. If there's a problem, you kind of, most time you're isolated, you know what I mean? It's like I look at these gang documentaries, and there's a rapper called Jordan in Manchester. His dad went in jail or something, and his mates actually broke him out while he was going in the Securico van. And it doesn't matter what they're in for. What I commend is the loyalty that they have for their mates, that genuine PR, that you ain't taking our guy to prison, and they broke him out, risked their life and freedom. Pulled out shotguns and escaped him. I think they got caught eventually, but there was one in France, a break-in. They bloody had a helicopter, and the geezer escaped onto the roof, jumped on the helicopter, and went. Do you know what I mean? So they're breaking their people out. Do you know what I mean? So that's the loyalty that these dirty gangs have. And up in there, bande, we ain't got much loyalty, man. Do you know what I mean? Like I've explained before, in 84, the things had checkpoints and stuff. If they had loyalty and we didn't fight each other, could have been a different story now, innit? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, jobs were more manual, so people were naturally moving more. They were, they didn't have these IT sitting down on desk jobs and fatigue your brain jobs. And when you move more, you're in the sunlight, you get more vitamin D, your hormones, your heart health, everything, all this health. The mental stress you get from work and stuff, it alters your hormones. Not moving enough alters your hormones. How much do people walk? Sedentary lifestyles now, sitting, sleeping, car driving. Even when you do bhakti, you're sitting, watching telly, you're sitting, playing computer games, you're sitting, eating, you're sitting. Do you know what I mean? So the body is very like knackered and mangled up for people. Do you know what I mean? So that affects your brain health, because in Sikhi, it's mind, body, and soul, they have to work together. They all, complement each other. They all have to be in sync to reach a bhakti level. Your energy needs to flow, the chakras need to be open, you know, you need to be in harmony. It all needs to be harmonious, you know what I mean? People used to eat better, they used to have better diets and stuff like that, more organic whole foods and stuff like that. So yeah, so the mental well-being was better. So that helped with the spirituality, that helped with the happy mood and less jealous of each other and stuff like that, huh? I'm not saying there was weren't bad apples. There's always bad apples. Look at the Masan history and there's some Sakya, you know what I mean? But we're saying like as a whole, times are better. The women never worked them times, so the man would do manual work or work whatever job he would do, shop, trade. Then he wouldn't work that long, you know what I mean? About 5, 6 hours, 4 hours, and women stayed at home and raised the kids. And all the women at Dharamsala, like in a village in the town, would raise the kids, take the kids to the Gurdwara. The Gyani would teach them Bani, go to Bani, they would play. All the women, it took a village to raise a kid. They lived with their grandparents. The grandparents probably taught them Santya, Sikhi, talk about Sakya, Shaheeds, talk about Gurbani, the aim of life to get to God. You know what I mean? How many people sit down with the grandparents now and talk about get to God, man? Do you know what I mean? They talk about what they're going to wear at the wedding or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. They're not really having deep spiritual conversations. I'm not saying everybody, there will be some, but I'm saying majority, you know what I mean? Majority of Punjabis ain't raised like that. Do you know what I mean? Then we used to give, all the Sikhs used to give 1/10 to the Gurdwara, so, or even more. And in turn, that used to be used for the langar to feed the poor, or just sangat. And the Khalsa army was paid. Look how much soldiers we had, they were paid, so they're ready to serve whenever they needed to. This made sure Deg Fateh, Ragis were paid, Gyanis were paid, Santya teachers were paid. They all had good wages, they were very respected roles. They'd done the job with enthusiasm, they were the pride of the community, and they taught the kids and everything. It was a good community set up, and these job roles there, they were well paid. So the Guru had all that in place. That's kind of gone now. People take the piss out. In Canada, when you're Gyani, people, when you're Sikh, they call you Gyani to take the piss. And like Gyanis, a lot of them, they don't feel respected by the community. And you know what I mean? Some of the most Gurdwara, the Java now, they keep, just give the Gyani a set salary. Back in the day, they used to have a set salary and they used to keep the Java, huh? Yeah, back in the days they had akaras linked to the Gurdwaras, so there was a lot of physical training. Probably there's not many evidence of what type of training it was. It's probably like more like Guru Angad Dev Ji, taught wrestling and included wrestling. So it would have been old school ancient wrestling type exercises. And obviously Shastra Vidya as Guru Gobind Singh Ji came training with Shastras and stuff like that. I know Guru Gobind Singh done swimming. I know there's a bit of running, jogging, stuff like that. But there's not too much evidence. I did find some stuff, but I'm not sure that it's 100% credible. So I'm not even going to mention it in it. There's not much evidence. There's no grant or anything I could find where gurus have wrote what exercises to do and how to look after the body. You know what I mean? People say the gurus done yoga, done this, done that. I couldn't find no evidence. There was no conversions, so Sikhi was going strong. You know what I mean? The numbers were growing. Obviously, were dying from Bashid, but in fact, it was the opposite. Hindu women that were saved, they loved the Singhs. They wanted to convert. Muslim women that saw the character of the Singhs, and they wanted to convert, and they did convert. They liked the raw masculine character of Singhs. Do you know what I mean? Them times we were more of a proactive. We had healthy paranoia. We had forts. We had people up with arrows, even if it's not arrows, bow and arrows on the forts. We had people in the trees watching out, lookouts. We had security. Any problem, we used to be proactive. You know what I mean? Not reactive. Now we're very reactive. We don't think ahead. You know what I mean? It's because we're cozy now. Not a lot of us haven't been punched in the face. A lot of us haven't been mugged. A lot of us had no hardships. We've got a lot of money, comfort. We're not really gonna remember God in it. When you're in the jungle and you're under threat from Mughals and animals, you're gonna remember Rabba Chade Sano Rab Rab Rab. You're gonna Waheguru, Waheguru, please help us, and you're gonna be more humble, innit? When you got everything you need, then you're gonna be more ego. So that's when someone gets cancer or stuff, then they start remembering God. All their life they haven't remembered God. As soon as they get cancer, they're gonna start remembering God, and the family's gonna start doing sukh side barter and doing a das and helping the poor and remember God, huh? Um I think things used to reflect more. They used to look at their ability, reorganize tactics, reorganize strategy, adapt to the situation. Like Masaranga, they had to disguise up. There's a lot in the modern day age to learn from the ninja method, ninja mentality, because when you're weak, you have to operate as ninjas. You can't give it large. Do you know what I mean? So the things were more adaptable, more clued on, a bit more brainier. Like the things in the jungles, they done guerrilla warfare, they use tactics. If you read on these tactics, yeah, you'd be like, eh? Things attack from behind, things trick this, things deceptive that. You'd think, oh, this ain't Sikhi. But it's survival, man. It's easy to, in theory, it's easy to say don't attack from behind, we'll do this, fight even, fight fair. In real life, man, when you're getting chopped up and that, it's not, you just want to survive. And it's easy for Pacharics in this cozy country to say, don't do this, don't do that, give free chances for someone to hit you, blah, 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 blah. In the real life, it doesn't work. So what can we do? Like every week, there must be a youth Naam Simran program in your Gurdwara. Every week. It doesn't happen. In a lot of Gurdwara, it just doesn't happen. Every weekend, like Friday night or Saturday, somewhere in the country or in Midlands, one in London, there should be some sort of smargam, like for a few hours, Jope Sahib, then Simran, then Kirtan, then nice food. There needs to be that congregation, you know what I mean? You look at the posters and stuff, there's nothing really going on. There might be, for a few weeks, you might get something going on, but it should be once a week somewhere, it should be something going on. Like when we were into getting Sikhi when we were younger, there was a lot more programs, like Kirtan programs, man. Like there was a lot more going on. I know Rosebery in East Ham, I've just seen a poster where they do Amritwala every Saturday and I think Saturday and Sunday mornings, and they do jogging on one of the days, which is good after Ahmadwala. So that's really good. Do you know what I mean? Back in the days, there was just a lot more Naam happening in the Panth. There was a lot more real deal Sons, Bhagats. There's a lot more real deal Jatadars. Now we have a lot of fakes in it for the money, just fooling the Sangats. They know what needs to be said. Back in the days, if you saw an Hang Singh Akali Forge, you knew they're the real deal, do or die, they would help you. It wasn't cosplay like now, Hana, looking the part and they're gonna have no intentions of dying or going in prison for you, anything like that, Hana. It's just they look the part, they got the uniform on, but they're not gonna play the role, Hana. It was just a different system. We're raised in the Western system, we're domesticated, we're taught watch Disney cartoons, find your love of your life, pay tax to the system, work hard, work long hours, be a slave to the boss, get that nice big house, get the big driveway, get the cars, get the daughter and a son and a pet dog and a fish. I'm not saying none of these things are bad, don't get me wrong, yeah, but it's like that wasn't prioritized back in the day. Back in the day was prioritized to do the Naam. You've got this human life. Don't waste it. Let's get to God. Whatever happens, everything else is a bonus, right? It wasn't the main priority. Now, how much time do you spend looking on chatting up girls, chatting up guys, this and that, hours. We phone them 3 in the morning, or wake up in the morning, text them, miss our nitnem, this and that. If we spent that much time and dedication and love to Waheguru, you would have got to God by now. Do you know what I mean? The parents, they just promoted Naam Bani back in the day, said when the time comes, be he, they never turn your back on Sikhi. It was a different, Ser Jawe Ta Jawe Mera Sikhi Sidk Nan Jawe, that was promoted. Now it's totally different times, And like I said, there was just more accountability. The Panch Singh used to go and pull people up. There was consequences if you broke red. There was deterrence. There was punishments, whippings, mukala karnasi, and put you on a donkey if you had a fare. You know what I mean? If you done bad things, you were held accountable. Now it's a free show, free for all. Anything goes. No one gets pulled up. A pedo in a pant doesn't even get slapped by the sangat. Someone's doing major bestie, they're not even getting pulled up. So yeah, these are some of the things where I think we failed. We need to start doing more Naam, get together, do the first step to getting to reverse all this is just more Naam, Kirtan, Naam, similar programs. There's not enough across the country. So if you have any say in your town, start doing it. Take care, people. Respect.